Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the online conference 2016 January.
Yeah.
Thank you for your participation and dedications.
Okay. Hello. Good morning. Good evening to all, and happy New Year. This is Veneranda Mateo from the Philippines, and I am the president of Philippine International Network on Accessible Tourism, and I am advocating on the tourism part so that all the persons with disability who would like to tour can do the same as able persons. Okay, so the topic now is about the level of education for women with disabilities by their ages and compare it with the level of education for women without disabilities and the cultural or historical backgrounds for the level of education in my country. So the level of education for women with disabilities, according to their ages, is just the same with all the other abled bodies children. Those regular students have in my city have the same opportunity as long as the parents are willing to bring these children to school. So in my city, the mayor makes a program and encourages the parents to bring their children, whether she be a girl or a boy, and be given the opportunity to go to school. But the good thing now, our city made a special education school that will cater to all the children with disability, and especially the women or or the girls who are becoming to become growing up, but then their status in their minds cannot cannot develop so much. The city government made a school that can train the students or the persons with disability, children with disability, to cope up with the situation that they may become independent in the near future. So the classrooms is like a home wherein they are doing the same duties at home, where they cook, they learn to cook, they learn to serve, so that in the future they can be work as a waiter or a waitress, and they also learn how to wash and learn how to prepare themselves. So that is for the children growing up. And now with the adult one, our city is also open to this growing up or the adult women, because our schools have elevators so that they can be accommodated in the schools. In the Philippines, as of this moment, we have been fighting for the equal opportunity together with the able persons. So we wanted to have equal opportunity even in looking for jobs. But it's really so sad that even though there are women with good education, they couldn't really perform well hand in hand with the able bodies. Like, for example, one of the company that I am connected with is the WGC or the Wong Group of companies. And the owner of this company, the CEO, Mr. Jack Wong, opened up the door to the persons with disability. So they are accepting PWD to work in his company. But you can see the difference of the hearing and the non-hearing with regards to construction of words. And they have the construction of words of with hearing impaired is different from the able body. So the problem of hiring in a regular company comes when they cannot perform well, even though they have the same education, but they cannot perform well with the communication. Okay, so women with disabilities is getting special. It depends on their disability, and their chosen subject or courses in the colleges. Uh, Sometimes it's not fitted for them. So they were not able to get the jobs that they are looking for because they didn't um, what do you call this? They were not able to think first that it won't be the same with the able body and the disabled with the women with disability when it comes to actual job. So it is good that there are companies now that are accepting people with disability. The only problem is they don't fit for the courses they studied in college. So that's it. So the cultural or historical backgrounds for the level of education in our country is there are so many activists that works hard so that we can be of equal opportunity in the education. So here in the Philippines, only those in the remote areas were not able to experience or to be going to school like in the cities. So the difference between the city and the province is very wide. The gap is really there. This women with disabilities in the provinces cannot enjoy what the women with disabilities in the cities are experiencing. So we are still continuing to fight for the opportunity for the women with disability and all the people with disabilities in the provinces to have equal opportunity, like for example, the sign language teacher can teach them more to understand the education that they are enrolled in. So unless otherwise the teacher knows how to make the sign language, this children with disability, especially the women, cannot understand what he or she is teaching. So eventually, as of this moment, the Department of Education is trying to uh, extend the best way to teach uh, these people with disabilities in the provinces. Women per se are so studious, but then all I can see is that whenever they are going to work in actual job, they feel the difference of being with disability than without disability because of the communication. They just couldn't communicate well if they are deaf. And then with regards to the blind women, most of them becomes blind masseurs. So they work in the massage parlor, and many of them are doing the home service for the massage clients. So that's it. Um, it is really hard to make um, to make it equal footing when there is disability and without the disability. But then they could maximize their talents if they have the education and they could adjust and choose the line of work that they want, that they would discover lately after they have gone to school, because definitely not all women with disabilities who went to college and finish their studies will land on the subject or the courses that they wanted to, because there's really a big difference between the actual and the theoretical. So that's it. Thank you, and that's my report.
Thank you for answering.
Okay.
Okay. Let me brief your reporting. You mentioned about all children can learn if they have a will.
Yeah.
And today we had a conference with the representative from Kenya.
Okay.
And in her country, um, education um, is quite cost in
Mm-hmm.
their country. So, especially for persons with disabilities, they need to pay more for like um, for accessible device or hearing device, like
Mm-hmm.
or assistant. So, what about your country? Well, cost for the education and for more device or support for
Yeah, 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 yeah. In our country, there are so many what they call this proven and have here. There are what do you call this? The hearing aid
hearing
being
aid?
given.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the hearing aid. And there are some this cochlear, the implant. There are some who receives donations or they become beneficiaries of this implant, wherein the hearing aid is put inside the ears. It is already implanted and it becomes like a normal hearing person.
Mhm.
Now, the hearing aid is just for them to amplify the sound so that it can be understood or be heard by the hearing impaired. Those are the children or the adults that can still hear
Yes.
when they are being given the hearing aid.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And what about the accessibility to, I mean, in school?
Yeah. So not all schools are accessible with regards to physical and environment. But then accessibility to school is now more uh, easier for the parents and the children to study, because the government is really working out, the Department of Education is really working out, and they are preparing or building schools specifically for the children with disability. And then later on, when they can be mainstream, they are being mixed with the able children, so that they will be going to school with the same children as normal as not secluded, but as normal students in school. So the teachers now is making schooling for them accessible with the way they teach. So there are programs developed for the children with disability, so that children would learn more and can adapt to the school. As I have been telling you, that our city government, not all city have it, but our city have the first school that will teach the adult this with they are adult children. Means to say that they age 18, 19, 20, but their brain is only for 7, 10 years old. So there is a school now in our city wherein these children are being prepared for adult, uh, what do you call this? Other adult works like serving in a cafeteria or serving in coffee shop,
Okay.
and washing the clothes and folding it just like they are at home, so that they can be that they can wash their own clothes and they can fold it, preparing for their adulthood, because the brain do not grow. So the school prepares them. Now, with regards to those who can do some works, they are prepared by training them to become waiters, to serve people, just like any able person serving in restaurants, in coffee shops, just like that. So accessibility now in the Philippines is more accessible to education, environment, and the curriculum itself, the subject itself becomes uh, more accessible to the children. That's it.
You just mentioned about like serving and washing clothes and that kind of thing for
Yeah,
people with
yeah,
mental disabilities. But
yeah.
if it is run by a just normal company or a just normal boss, do you think they would prefer to hire them than just persons with this without disabilities?
Actually, here in the Philippines, there are companies who are hiring persons with disabilities. One company, the toothpaste manufacturer, they manufacture the brand Happy. They
Mm-hmm.
employed hearing impaired. They employed hearing impaired
Okay.
employees.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there is one family who put up a coffee shop just for the son, for the child of them to have a work. So they opened the coffee shop and they employed
Oh,
these children.
okay. So it's like a family business.
Yes, it's a family business,
Mm-hmm.
and they already accepted other children with disability.
Mm-hmm.
These children are aged 19, 20, something like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Okay.
So if you will compare it to regular
Mm-hmm.
um, people, they are already matured or they are adult, but
Mm-hmm.
their brains are still um, young, seven,
Mm-hmm.
10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So as of this moment, the campaign to accept, because there is a law here that at least 1%
Mm-hmm.
of your employee, if you have 100, at least 1% of your employee must be a person with disability. There is a law here.
Yeah.
And there's
Is
also
it?
a law that says if you employ a person with disability, you will be granted a tax credit. I think 25% of what the persons with disability employed in that company
Mhm.
is receiving. So if he is receiving 1,000 a month, then 25% of that will be deductible to his company tax.
Mhm. So, do you think today keep that law, like hiring persons with disability?
Oh, it is being implemented as of this moment, and since the leaders here, the PWD leaders here,
Mhm.
like for example, the NCDA is led by Ms. Carmen Suviaga. She's the one who invited me when the first time I came to to Women Assembly
Mhm.
2011. She is now the head of the National Council on Disability Affairs. I
Oh.
think it will be her last term now
Mhm.
this year. I don't know if she will be hired again as the
Uh-huh.
executive director, but she is the one who is working in the government and as the executive director of that agency.
Yeah. She's
So what we are telling is that the voice of the persons with disability in the Philippines is very
Mhm.
loud. It is very important in a country that the voice of the persons with disability be heard, and it cannot be heard if there is no leader or people who are fighting for it.
Mhm. All right. Thank you. Thank you for your all answering.
Okay.
Mhm. For the last, we would like to ask you about your news or activities. Since we you couldn't attend because of the bad network last
Yeah.
month, so maybe you
Yeah.
can talk about.
Oh, last December, Miss
Mhm.
Yoni uh, came here in the Philippines and she visited and she checked on the women with disabilities in Las Piñas, and she saw how these women copes up, how they earn, how they live, and what they do for a living. And she saw that there's still um, more room for help that these women needs since they are poor and they don't have the the capital and everything, and but she saw how they are doing it to earn money, even small amount. She saw how women here are doing, like um, sewing these rags, these round rags, and selling it to the people who wants to buy the rags, and making recycled what do you call this, cushion for the dentist, and they are selling on what do you call this small cubicles that they sell foods and drinks and everything.
Exercise.
Vendors, they are vendors on the side street. So it is nice that she was able to see how these women with disabilities in at least in one city, because we cannot go to so many places here because she's in a hurry. She's going to be going to Palawan the following night. So we were able to bring her to nice spots in the Philippines that she can see on top of the mountain the beauty of some places here in the Philippines. That's
Yeah.
it. So she saw how the women cope up. They sell, they sew rags, and they also do some others are doing massage. That's it. Uh, it means to say that this women is really making way to earn, although it is not that big, but they were able to earn a living.
Mhm.
That's it.
What about the Christmas or a New Year's Day in there?
Oh, of course, in the Philippines, we are Christian country, and during the December, um, before the Christmas, we have this night. We call this Simbang Gabi. We're in the dawn mass,
Oh,
and it is done for 9 consecutive days before the Christmas day. And the traditional is that we eat our Noche Buena, and we're in the family eats together and celebrate the night. And then on the New Year, there are fireworks, and there's so many places that you can go that you can see it's really uh, celebrating, and so many fireworks are being burned so that in the tradition to shoo away the bad what do you call this bad spirit. That's it. So all in all, December and January is the most exciting part in the Philippines, and it is celebrated for almost more than a month, because before it there's celebration already, and then after it there's still celebration. That's
yeah.
celebrating here in the Philippines during December.
Okay. Well, once again, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
In Korea, we count also Luna calendars, Luna
Oh,
New Year's Day.
mhm.
So on February, we will have the Luna New Year's Day holiday.
Oh, so it's still Happy New Year.
Yes. And
On
until,
January,
yeah,
February.
yeah, it would go on until February, I think.
Mhm. Okay,
Thank
so
for
it's still legal to say Happy New Year.
yay. Happy New Year.
And Happy New Year to Miss Year.
Yeah.
And then I wish we can still visit Korea. I don't know if the accessible tourism with Professor Bunkley
Sorry.
will make it this year. If we make it this year with accessible tourism, maybe I can visit your place again. That's it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much
Thank you
for
so
inviting
much.
me. Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me.
Of course.
I hope I contributed something.
Sorry.
I hope I contributed something
Oh.
with what I said. I hope it has a sense. I hope I delivered something that could inspire other countries, the women with
Yeah.
disabilities.
You always do that.
Thank you so much,
Thank you for
and good
coming
night.
and have a good night.
Okay.
See you next month.